How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. I also got to put in the disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor and this isn't financial advice. So just know if you do invest, you're doing it at your own risk. So today we're going to be talking about AMC. I'm going to be talking about some things that shareholders really do need to know. I will be doing another video tomorrow and I'm going to let you know towards the end of this video what that's going to be all about. But of course, before we get started, we have to go over the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below in the description. So the first thing we're going to be going over are some key details shareholders need to know. This is in regards to Adam Aron as far as what's going on with selling shares, and then of course explaining why this is not as big as a problem that some are making it out to be, especially the media. And then of course we're going to be taking a look at the short interest information in regards to Fintel. We want to know what is going on, and then once we figure that out, then I'll be giving you guys my final thoughts. So let's get into it. So for the first update is AMC's warning to shareholders. This has been blown up all over the media saying, well, you know what, if you put your money in AMC stock, you're going to be losing it all. So AMC goes out and puts out the disclaimer, hey, they want to make sure that they are protecting themselves. Many are saying, well, you know what, does that mean that the stock price is going to crash and it's never going to recover? Does that mean that we're not going to be getting the short squeeze? No, it doesn't. They're just protecting themselves. You've seen this on many different occasions, and especially with some of the stocks we've talked about on this channel, the stock price will get very high and then the price will crash. And then you see all of these lawsuits popping up out of nowhere. So AMC just trying to protect themselves and also wanting to let you know the risks that are involved when you're investing in a particular company by buying shares. They're not taking into consideration the fact that, hey, this stock price is gonna go down, so too bad for you. No, not whatsoever. Ignore all of the media FUD that is actually out there. I want you to be aware of that, especially if you are a shareholder, because we know we need to make sure that we are buying and holding, and make sure you do have the ability to do so by investing money that you are not afraid to lose. Now let's get into the second update. Now this has to do with Adam Aron selling shares. And I feel like he's getting a lot of heat for it. And I feel like, you know what, it is just not necessary. Of course, the media is making it sound bad, saying, well, you know what, he's selling off shares, blah, 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 blah. But we already know to ignore all of that FUD. But also, we do have shareholders that are saying, hey, why is he diluting? At the same time, we need to understand this and understand his position. He's trying to make sure he can keep AMC afloat and making sure they have a lot of cash on hand so they can take advantage of opportunities. The best case about this particular scenario is the reason why he's doing this, he wants to increase the value. So by increasing the value, this definitely does make it tough for anyone who is shorting AMC stock, because hey, it makes the company more valuable and it also brings in more investor interest overall in general. Also, if we take a look in regards to how much shares he actually sold, it really didn't make that big of a difference in regards to dilution. And it's part of the reasons why we're continuing to see a lot of strength in the overall stock as well. So taking all of this into consideration, the fact that he's keeping the company afloat while still adhering to the interests of his shareholders, which are the retail investors like ourselves that take up over 80% of the float, this is something that is great to see. He is balancing things and he's making it work. So just taking all of this, I feel like we need to take some heat off Adam Aron, because at the end of the day, he is doing his job and he has been looking out for our best interests as well. And like he said previously, if he was going to even consider selling even more shares on the open market, of course this would have to be voted on by retail investors just like ourselves. And the fact of the matter is, he's being clear about this, and I feel like we shouldn't be giving him too much flack in regards to him selling shares. And for the next update, I want to talk about short sellers. They ended up losing $2 billion this past week. $2 billion in 1 week. This is very significant here and is part of the reasons why we are continuing to see even more media FUD. And the reason why we need to take notice of this is because it has definitely increased in this past week. If you guys haven't been paying attention, you're seeing articles everywhere popping up saying, well, you know what, AMC is a bad investment. AMC's been selling off all their shares. This is not a good sign. Don't get into AMC. AMC is going to plummet. AMC is going to crash. Buy other stocks instead of AMC. When you have this particular behavior that is going on, then you know already you are 10 steps ahead if you are not letting it phase you. Usually what tends to happen, a lot of the media is being backed by a lot of these big firms that are shorting AMC stock, and which you guys know already, Citadel. So taking all of this into consideration, you already know you are in the right direction when all of this is going on and things are really looking really good. Short sellers, again, they've resorted to desperate, dirty tactics. We talked about that in previous videos. And the more this continues and the more they ramp this up, then you know already, as far as a shareholder or an ape, things are looking really good. I have to make sure I emphasize that with you guys so you're not panic selling or you're not feeling concerned, because if you have money in there that you are not afraid to lose, then you should definitely be feeling really good right now. So now let's go on Fintel, take a look at the short interest information, and then I'll give you guys my final thoughts. So we're now on Fintel. We're going to be taking a look at the short interest information for AMC, and this is taking into consideration close as of June the 4th, which was Friday. We see the short volume ratio is at 19%. So what does this look like? When we see there was 337.7 million shares that were traded, and out of that amount, 65.8 million of those shares were actually sold short. Do keep in mind of the fact I've been getting a lot of news and a lot of updates and staying inside the loop. This short volume ratio can definitely be much higher because this is not taken into consideration as far as naked short selling that's going on as well. If we take a look at the short shares availability with 1.7 million updated 30 minutes ago, and as far as for the short borrow free rate, stands at 11.25%. So that's still fairly high. We take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see that it has gone up since when we saw from June the 3rd, it was at 17.26, now being at 19.48. And like I was saying previously, this can definitely be much higher than the numbers that we are seeing. So this is one of the things I'm looking forward to seeing what goes down next week for AMC, especially with a lot of news coming out and everyone being even more informed than they were previously. So we just have to be patient, see how this turns out. But what we do know for sure is short sellers are still attacking this stock because they want the price to go down. So that's why if you're part of this movement, the focus is to buy and hold so we can force that short squeeze. So for my final thoughts for AMC, things are definitely looking interesting going into next week. We've already done a technical analysis. We did that in a prior video, and it is still looking strong. We got to know for the fact that AMC has been up quite a bit on the month, and things are still going in the right direction despite the fact that we've seen a pullback. Also, if you're in this particular play, I have to emphasize it again, make sure you're using money that you are not afraid to lose. The whole goal is to buy and hold. We are trying to force a short squeeze here. We have not experienced a short squeeze yet. I'm going to emphasize that. We have not experienced the short squeeze as of yet. So it can be really big when it does happen if more people are buying and they are holding. As far as when we even took a look at the order flow distribution, the inflow was higher than the overall outflow, but again, the price was going down. So this is why I'm trying to tell you guys, there's a lot of manipulation that is going on. You have also seen there's been a lot of videos on YouTube, and it's great that it's getting out there that, hey, there's a lot of naked shorting that is going on as well, right? This was on CNBC. I'm going to be making a video tomorrow actually going into explaining what is that all about, what naked shorting is, and the impact that it's had on the AMC stock, and is why I still continue to buy and hold shares, and it adds to my conviction. But look for that video for tomorrow, all right? And then for the next thing that I want to kind of sum up, in regards to Adam Aron, he's doing everything that he needs to do to balance the scales in regards to making sure he's keeping shareholders, investors who are happy, and also keeping the company afloat. Also do know, and we did go over, as far as for short sellers, they have lost a ton of money shorting AMC and as well as GME. So they are going to continue to put as much FUD out there in the media to scare you and get you to sell the stock at a loss or just not be a part of this movement overall in general. Of course, it's going to be up to you because you are responsible for your own actions and you also decide what you want to do. You're the one who's pressing the buy and as well as the sell button here. You need to make sure if you're in this play, you have high conviction. Buy and hold. As far as for the short interest information that we went over, yes, we saw that around 19%. But what does this mean? Yes, institutions, they are still shorting this stock. All right? It has not stopped. So the fact of the matter is that just going to give us the opportunity to make this squeeze even bigger. But do keep in mind of the fact, even though we see that particular number, it can be higher because there is some naked shorting that is going on as well. But I will be going over that in tomorrow's video and as well as some more updates. Like I said, want to make sure the content is fresh and I'm not regurgitating myself, and I want to make sure if you're a shareholder, you are in the know and you can have confidence while you're in this particular play. Hope you found this video helpful and we'll be talking real soon.